Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Clean Machine Live. My name is Jeff Palmer. I'm the CEO and founder of Clean Machine, and today we're going to be talking about a supplement called HMB. HMB has been around for a while, but before we get started, this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Okay. But before we jump into this study on HMB and vitamin D3, which is really unique because we're talking about synergistic effects. Okay. So what is nutrient synergy? It's the combined effects of multiple nutrients working together, having a greater impact on the body than the single nutrients consumed by themselves. So when you put two ingredients together that actually complement each other in the body, it can actually support multiple mechanisms. Because remember, we're a systems-based physiology. It's not just poke one thing and get a result at the end. It's not clockwork like that. It's actually systems based. So you may have certain different attributes that are triggered by certain different nutrients. And when you combine those nutrients together, they can get combined and even more profound effects. Now, most of the reason that people use supplementation is to get a little bit bigger effect, right? More muscle gains, more fat burning, more of something. And sometimes when you combine ingredients, you can actually use less, as in the case of combining, say, branched chain amino acids with your regular protein consumption. We've seen over and over and over in studies, just by simply adding branched chain amino acids to your regular protein intake, you can increase muscle protein synthesis, resulting in more strength, more muscle gains. That's been proven over and over in the research. Okay, so back to HMB. What is HMB? Beta-Hydroxy beta-methylbutyrate. Yeah, that's why they call it HMB. It's been used for decades to stimulate protein synthesis and reduce muscle breakdown. Okay, so those are the methods of action. This is how we know what HMB does in the body. But does it do it significantly enough to make a real difference in the outcomes of, say, your workout or your training? Well, let's take a look at that. But first, a little primer on HMB. HMB has got over 150 studies on it, 14 meta-analyses showing safe and effective results. And it's been really, really well researched. Now, a lot of the studies have had very positive outcomes, which is why it's been a consistently used supplement for so long. But what is HMB and how do we get it in the body without supplementation? Well, we can use proteins, which will be broken down into the amino acids. And one of those amino acids, a branched chain amino acid called leucine, can be broken down further into HMB. HMB is a metabolite. So leucine is first converted to what's called KIC, or alpha keto isocaproic acid in skeletal muscle. So the leucine gets broken down to KIC in the muscle and then taken to the liver, where KIC is actually converted to HMB. Then HMB can have its effects, but by then it's pretty small amount of HMB. So supplementation can put a lot more of the HMB in the system and give you more profound effects. You're like, okay, Jeff, well, then why don't you have an HMB product? Because I actually like leucine better, and I'll explain why. So I was reading this article that was based on these 2020 studies. So they were looking at HMB and finding some of the studies had mixed results or even what they call null results, which is no results. So they do know that HMB does slow muscle loss, especially in specific therapeutic applications like sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. It can help prevent age-related muscle loss, and it does help increase muscle protein synthesis. But does it do that with workouts? And does it do it without workouts? Okay, so we know in clinical areas we have muscle wasting diseases, HMB can be very helpful. But what about just average people over 50, over 60 that are exercising? Well, let's take a look at this study. This is the 2020 study that the article was discussing. So they were looking and saying, hey, wait a minute, HMB didn't have much effect on strength. What if we added vitamin D3, something that is known to actually help improve strength? Would that make a difference? And sure enough, it actually did. So this was a pretty nice study. It had 117 men and women, so included both genders. It includes exercisers and non-exercisers. And it looked at people that were over 60 and slightly D3 insufficient, meaning they weren't getting quite enough, but they weren't into deficiency yet. And it was a pretty long study. It was a randomized, double-blind, controlled study for 12 months. So good, fairly good longitudinal study, looking at something for more immediate outcomes anyway. Okay, so the study results. I'll take you right to the graph that shows the study results. On the left hand, this is no exercise, and you can see significant results. Significant results as early as 3 months, but continued significant results at 6 months and 12 months as well. This is with no exercise at all. Now, what's interesting about this is look at the graph on the right. This is giving people HMB plus vitamin D3 and then had them exercise. Well, they got about the same results as those who were not exercising but taking HMB and D3. Okay, so this is what they call a mixed outcome study, where the surprising results were that people with no exercise, when they took HMB and vitamin D3, actually got really nice results in increased functional index. That means increased exercise performance, similar to those that were exercising. This is incredible. But when you look at those who exercised and took the HMB and D3 on the right-hand side, you can see, well, basically no change, hardly any difference, nothing significant at any point along the study, 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. That the HMB, there was actually a slightly significant difference in the first 3 months with HMB and vitamin D3, just in the first 3 months, but nowhere along the rest of the study. So exercise was overcoming the nutritional deficits that was caused by other things, clearly. So the nutritional intervention of HMB and vitamin D3 did not really change the results in those who were actually exercising. But those who weren't exercising at all actually had really great outcomes. Okay, so this tells us HMB and vitamin D3 could be a very good application for those over 60 who don't plan and don't want and don't like to exercise, or people who can't exercise because of a physical disability, or because of their work, or because of some other external factor, injury or sickness or things like this, hospitalization, or maybe just elderly and just don't want to exercise. So taking HMB and vitamin D3 could be very helpful for people over 60, giving them results close to those who are exercising. Now, I don't want you to misinterpret the study and say, oh, great, I don't have to exercise. All I have to do is take the supplements. No, don't do that, because there's so many other health benefits to exercise. It's definitely more important. But for those who just aren't going to exercise or can't exercise, they have an inability to, this could be very helpful to maintaining strength and muscular performance, so you don't fall, so you don't break bones. This could be helpful for those that are in that situation. Now, this may be the reason why I like actually the branch chain approach instead better. Okay, so let's take a look at the data here. So I'm going to pull up, first we're going to take a look at vitamin D3 and show some meta-analysis on vitamin D3. This one is a 2015 meta-analysis and systematic review. So it's looking at a lot of different studies, published studies, and the results of that meta-analysis actually showed vitamin D supplementation significantly increased muscle strength in the experimental group, both in the upper body and the lower body to a significant degree. All right. But that was just one meta-analysis. Yes, a meta-analysis covers a lot of different studies, but I said, okay, let's do an even earlier one, so later one. This is 2017 systematic review and meta-analysis. And this one was actually looking in healthy strength in athletes. So, all right, athletes, you assume there's not going to be as much difference, not going to be much change. A lot of times in athletes, they're already at their peak level, so you're not going to see a significant outcome, but actually they did. Vitamin D3 was shown to have a positive impact on muscle strength, and in 2 studies, strength outcome measures were significantly improved after supplementation of just vitamin D3. That's why I am a big proponent of vitamin D3, not only for the obvious bone health, the immune health, and now even we know this strength health too for muscles. So there is a synergistic effect between actual vitamin D3 and leucine. Remember, leucine is the metabolite, is the precursor to the metabolite HMB anyway. So why not start with the precursor, get sufficient amounts of that? We already know its effects. And I'll show you this too, another systematic review of the meta-analysis. So lots of randomized controlled studies, not just cherry picking single studies, but a review of all of the available research in 2022. And they found leucine-rich protein supplements, that's adding leucine to your normal proteins intake, improved participants' overall muscle strength, muscle mass, and performance over the control group. And as the primary outcome, muscle strength improves significantly in the leucine group. So just adding the leucine group did significantly improve muscle strength, whereas you see the HMB group, even with the vitamin D3, did not do so in those who were actually already training. And but if you really want to see a synergistic effect, let me show you a picture of 2 that some computer learning came up with. See that plant on the left-hand side? That is called Indian globe thistle. And the picture on the right-hand side is mango tree bark, which is one of the richest sources of a polyphenol called mangiferin. All right. So the computer was asked, what are 2 things that work synergistically to get the greatest outcomes in results? And the computer spit out these 2. Okay, let me take down that caption. And this was the outcomes. So they found that, boom, testosterone increased 3 times the amount of testosterone compared to the control group without increasing testosterone in women. I thought, oh, well, then it's going to work for men, but not women. But when they actually tried it on women too, they actually got 2 times the increase in lean mass gains, muscle gains. That's awesome. So it increased lean mass in men more because of the testosterone effect, but it still increased lean muscle mass gains in women. Not only that, women got even higher fat burning effects than the men did from the same dosage. So this is pretty incredible. And let me show you the total results of what came out here in the study. This has actually had 3 different studies, both in men and women. They found a 4 times increase in muscle size, up to 20% more muscle strength, and up to 35% more muscle endurance. Now, I love this part because right now I'm doing a very intense training, couple of weeks, where I'm doing 5 sets of 20. That's 20 reps and then doing 5 sets. So I'm doing 100 reps per exercise at medium weight. That's my middle weight. Not high weight, not low weight, but middle weight. So it's exhausting. But I'm pushing through this where people are petering out at 8 to 10 reps max, doing 3 times. I'm doing 100 total reps per exercise, and I'm flying through them. Um, Up to 21% increase in free testosterone only in men. Women, you don't have to worry about it. You can take this product with zero increase, zero change in your testosterone levels, but still getting the fat burning effects. Actually, 2 times as much fat burning effects in women than men, but guys are getting 2 to 3 times more muscle gains in them. So 14 days, very quick acting, wonderful, amazing product. This is why I love taking my N10s with my branched chain amino acids prior to workout and getting maximum amount of nutritional support to help with my gains, my muscle strength, my muscle recovery, and of course, adding that vitamin D3 in there. They found that if you are insufficient or deficient in vitamin D3, you can have what's called dynapenia. Dyna meaning strength and penia meaning loss or shrinkage. And like osteopenia is loss of osteo, bone, or sarcopenia is loss of muscle. Dynapenia is loss of strength. So there's a direct correlation between not getting sufficient vitamin D3 and not reaching your maximal strength. Having a sufficient status for vitamin D3, you will find out your maximal strength in the gym and carrying on for the rest of the time. This is why it's so important for people to take D3 no matter what your age is and no matter what your activity level is, because it can help you maintain strength even if you aren't exercising, which is critical. Well, thank you for watching. I know this study was maybe kind of disappointing for some neighbors. Think, hey, HMB, I wanted to find out more about it, but sometimes the studies just don't show positive effects like this one. Although it did show really positive effects for those who were not exercising, this is probably not the best form of supplementation study showing benefits for those who actually are working out. That's why I personally prefer branched chain amino acids and utilizing leucine, which has got many meta-analyses showing improved muscle gains, strength gains, and performance gains, all with and without vitamin D3, but even maximizing your strength gains with vitamin D3. So simple branch chains with your vitamin D3. And if you really want to boost up your testosterone and take your strength to a next level, check out our N10s, completely natural. We've just lowered the price to make it more affordable for everyone. With the prices just going nuts out there, my heart went out and said, let's lower the price on this and make this more affordable for more people, because I really love this product because the results are amazing. 61 years old, and I am in championship form, over 60, best shape of my life at 61. I never expected to be able to say this. Back when I was young, 60 was old. I feel awesome. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life and enjoying life. Zero medications, zero health conditions, living healthy, living happy, and enjoying the heck out of my life in the gym with exercise. And that's what I want for you. That's how I can rack up all these awards, both for the products and for my physique. But I just want to show people what can be accomplished at any age, even on the plant exclusive diet for over 40 years now. That's what I want to show you is possible. That's why I do what I do. Pay it forward, right? So that you can live the best, healthiest life. That's why I give you these studies, whether they turn out to be good or positive or negative. I want to share the studies with you so you can make the best decisions about which supplements are best for you and which food products are too as well. We have some really, really exciting news coming up about our new products, but I'll be sharing those once we get a little bit closer. Thanks for